Well, I have my fill light turned on, so we're going to try right now filming some of this with the fill light. And in the other storage facility, we have the generator cover here. This had a new stator put in, and so we're going to go on in and look at the interior of this RV. It has your traditional 1980s golden shag carpeting. It's in pretty good condition, though. That's the good news. Actually, it's got a little bit of a beige tint to it, which is pretty nice. And so we're gonna go ahead and swing in here and climb on in. For us people that are a little bit more senior, it's got a nice assist strap there for us. And what I'm trying to do now, I have a Smooth 5 gimbal with a light on it, so my panning may not be quite as smooth as my hand holding with my iPhone 13 Pro. But this is the side bathroom model of a Wander Lodge, and so we're going to go on inside. And nice comfortable step up, another nice comfortable step up. The overall condition, let me pan back in this unit, it's just a pristine example of 1982 Bluebird technology. What I'm looking at is there's the original Thermador microwave, the original Thermador refrigerators. One disappointment for me was the fact that this has the full-size bed. I really wanted the configuration with the twin beds in the back, and I don't know how that can be redone because my wife and I are full-size people, and a full bed is just a little bit more coziness than we might like. You know, everything, I want to show you the ceiling in here because the issue with a lot of these is the vinyl strips that go across either bending or sagging a little bit, like this one here. You can see it just in front of that light. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. So that has a little sagging to it, and I don't know, you know, how those are fixed. I see that there's a loose screw over to the right of that, and this will be just a lot of little cosmetic things. There's that screw that's hanging down there a little bit. So the bottom line is there's going to be a lot of little cosmetic things. I don't mind doing that kind of stuff. You know, I come from a background of having vintage cars and things like that, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. So anyway, the good news is this has been kept indoors most of its life. In fact, all of its life that we can tell. This belonged to a fellow pilot, and I actually saw it in our crew room for the airline I work for, and my brother-in-law had been looking for a Bluebird for a long time. So when I saw this Wander Lodge, you know, I thought, well, maybe that's something that you know, I should put him in touch with, and sure enough, he bought it. But it had been kept in an aircraft hangar before that, and now it's in covered storage, but it's just an open front storage facility, so it's plenty dusty. But the good news is, other than some rain collecting in the front bumper, I think it's going to clean up pretty well. Now I'm going to try to, excuse the close focus here as I get in position, open this side bathroom door. I don't know exactly what storage is going on down there with those water containers, but before I get too far into this, surprise, looks like upgraded shower stall with real nice color. It's not that Bluebird yellow that I expected. It's got a real, let's see if I can get a nice shot of the material. It has a kind of an updated Formica look, which I like. It's beige and clean and bright. This is my first time using this Smooth 5 gimbal, so bear with the operator here. It looks like it has upgraded chrome appliances in here. There's some stuff I'm maneuvering around. A nice matching shower curtain. Let me zoom back out. I want to zoom down there and just show you the shower stall. I'm not sure what that glob of plumber's putty is down there on the wall. Like I said, this has an upgraded shower. There's some marks here. I don't know if that's what this is from. And there's some gasket sealer material here and some plumber's putty there. You know, I'm sure that my wife, the perfectionist, will help me with trying to figure out some cosmetic solutions for the minor things, but overall, this is pretty darn nice. I think it's been upgraded from the original, probably bright yellow Wander Lodge treatment. Excuse the photographer in the frame. Nice little sink area, and usually the drawers are pulled out for access to something. That's all going to be part of my learning curve here. And there's some drippage on the floor from that shower, or that hose there. And I'm not 100% sure what that does, so if you want to chime in the comments and let me know, I'd appreciate it. But overall, very nice upgraded bathroom, which I didn't expect. I really thought we were going to be looking at the 1982 yellow Bluebird bathroom. Nice unit. Okay, so as we know, typical Wander Lodge overhead storage, all in real clean condition. And probably some light bulb replacement. It looks like there's a fixture that's been pulled out here. Probably has a typical fluorescent light bulb assembly, and so looks like some maintenance was in progress. That's probably for the forward overhead light, I would guess. We'll see as we go back to the back. Anyway, let's change our configuration here a little bit. And real clean kitchen. Again, in a very neutral kind of beige coloring. So, heading into the back, I was really kind of hoping for the twin bed configuration in this, but it has just that one full-size bed. So we're going to have to figure out how this dinette makes into another bed or something like that, because knowing my wife and I, that's probably not ideal for us. So this is tight spaces I come through here filming, and I know that there's some obstacles in the floor that I didn't want to trip over. Assessing the carpet here, that's not as bad as it might seem. Some of those are just items that have, you know, from storage and whatever, like little pieces of paper on the ground and everything, but that carpeting is actually in really good condition. It'll clean up real well. And in any vintage vehicle, the question is, do you want to enjoy the originality with it, or do you want to get fancy? So this is a little vanity area, seating area that was so popular in the Bluebird buses. Again, because this has been indoors, it's in pretty darn good shape with the ceiling. The ceiling can be a real issue on Bluebirds. So let's move forward, and I can get into the freezer here. I'll show you why I can't get in the refrigerator real easily. See if I can tip down here real quickly. One of the things that we're trying to do is not pick up any rust stains on the carpeting. We have a few from working on the bus, and I hate trying to get rust stains out of carpeting. So, you know, worst case scenario, we get this thing recarpeted to a more modern carpet. But right now, gosh, for a 1982 unit, this is pretty amazing. Let's go forward. And I know because of wiring issues that some of the ceiling has been opened up, like up in here, and this vinyl is split. And so for those of you, here, let me show you what I'm talking about, that there is this material that I've seen available, or people have talked about options. So if you'd like to drop that in the comments, I'd sure appreciate it. Let me see if I can get this right on focus for you. Anyway, let's move forward and see what we got going here. So, again, some vinyl issues from age and splitting. Nice. All the overhead compartments are like new. You know, this is a pretty clean old bus. It was my brother-in-law's pride and joy. And I know he was what in car circles you'd call an originite. He'd like to keep things as original as possible. So, it is what it is. I want to show you the fold downstairs here. Again, it's very original. Now the nice thing, as we go forward, is the upholstery up here is in really, really good condition. It says that we have Carrier 5 air conditioning, which I don't know anything about, so I have some research to do. Now the captain's chair, excuse me, there are parts on the floor that I'm trying to navigate around here. The captain's chair here is kind of interesting. That there's only one little rip down at the base of it. This is not a rip, this is a fold. Actually, there's some wear there. So, you know, the seats are acceptable. Some of that I can use some vinyl repair methods on that I'm familiar with from cars. But I hope all those gauges in that gauge cluster work. I know that tachometers and things like that can be a little finicky. And the beauty of this is I've moved some of the parts so they're on protective surfaces because I don't want to add any more rust to the project here. But the upholstery on the chairs and the couch are actually in pretty darn good shape, and it's not a bad color. There is a little color difference between the carpeting that's associated with the upholstery, which is probably been replaced, and the floor carpeting. So I don't really know too much about the history of some of this. So anyway, the biggest thing is we're working on this to make sure everything is setting on something protective so we don't get any damage done to this unit. And some of this, like up on this wall here, there's some old adhesive on the laminate here. Excuse me as I navigate through some of the mess on the floor, but this is a working project. So that I don't know if you can see it. It's like a glue residue there. I don't even think that'll clean up real well. So the good news is, let me go one more time up to the ceiling, is the ceiling up here is in really, really good condition for a 1982 bus. All right, well, that's our first walkthrough, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty good start. I hope the mechanics are as good as I remember them being. My brother-in-law really put a lot of work into this unit. The question for all you Wonder Lodge people is, how original do we want to keep this bus? And that's always been a challenge for me with cars. You know, you could do the resto mod, or you can keep it original.